What do you think? I mean, it won't play. You're on? I'm on, but it ain't playing, man. I guess it's dead. You know what? Hell, just stab your fingers. That's okay, bud. That's okay. Here, just take it with you. You can tell the world you never was my girl. You can burn my clothes up when I'm gone. Come on, like this. Or you can tell your friend just what a fool I've been and laugh and joke about me on the phone. There you go. Or you can tell my own, go back to the phone. Or you can tell my feet to hit the floor. Or you can tell my lips to tell my fingertips.
Hello and welcome. We had Billy Ray Cyrus, you know, to cold open the show. Why not? So bad, man. He was a train wreck. If you haven't seen that, there's tons of clips. Go check him out. You know, he looked like hammered shit. Actually, here's a photo of him. Oh, hold up. Here's a photo. There's a photo of him at Trump's inauguration. It was just like someone had said, it's like, didn't know he fucking smoked like 10 crack rocks and crushed like 50 beers before going on stage. Honestly, he looks. This sounds bad. Like, no disrespect to Rob Zombie. I thought it was Rob Zombie. No, Billy Ray Cyrus is, I mean, he's taken all that like fucking Old Town Road money and just fucking, he's gotten it, you know? Can't really blame him too much, can we? Hello. Oh. Intro number 2. Hello and welcome. Happy Wednesday to everybody. I am Freed. Welcome back to Freed FM. As always,
You're listening to Freed FM.
happy to have you here. Happy to be back. Like I said, I've been really enjoying streaming. I'm thinking about doing a 12-hour stream tomorrow of just video games. Maybe not 12 hours. 12 hours seems excessive. I do have a life. But I'm thinking maybe a nice long stream tomorrow to kind of, just get the blood flowing. See, the problem is I tune in to like, I usually watch like Tim the Tap Man and mostly game streamers. And sometimes to sound piker, but more so game streamers. And I and I watched him this morning. I'm like, I just want a game. What a joyous life, like never talking about dumb things. So I wish, man. I don't know. But then again, when I do the gaming thing, I feel like I'm not interacting a lot and I'm not doing a ton. So I'm actually going to change the setting on this microphone to a little bit more of a broadcasty vibe. I wanted to hear how it sounded, okay? I wanted to give it a chance. Ladies and gentlemen. I forgot, you know what's funny is I hit live and I was not prepared. I was like, oh, I do know exactly what I'm talking about, but I didn't set up like my whole thing and like get it all prepared. Anyway, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing good too. I just gotta pull up a few. Something happened. Shit, I gotta blur that out. Yeah, I'm like so unprepared. There's a photo that I need to blur out, like a part of it. We'll figure it out. It's not like a big deal. I can do that while talking to y'all. I'll do that while talking to y'all. Okay. It's not a thing. So the question on my mind this morning is JD Vance, is his Instagram getting pushed? Now there's some speculation. I reached out to a few friends. Now I looked last night because as you scroll on Instagram, you get those little recommendations. This is going to be too big for this photo, but whatever. You get those little recommendations saying, hey, you should follow this account. So it was JD Vance. How do I crop this? I'm just gonna crop that out. Okay. Save that. I hate how Photoshop, like now you have to make a copy of something to save it. It is so annoying. All right. Okay, so that's done. So we'll do that in a second. So I'm just gonna pull up Instagram so you guys can kind of take a look. You know, I don't know if it shows on the web version, but on your, it kind of shows like certain suggested, but I have different suggested on my free for show Instagram than my personal Instagram. So, but the gist is when you're scrolling on Instagram, you see those recommend, hey, you might want to follow these people. So JD Vance showed up for me last night and I couldn't figure out why. I was like, I don't follow anyone political. I don't have any, I've never looked this up. There's no reason for it to be pushed. So I looked at it last night and it said new Instagram. Okay, new. It says, it doesn't say new on the web page now. When you go to it, it doesn't say new. Okay, he only has 4 posts, whatever. Okay, but I notice. So last night when I looked, not many people following him who I know. I wake up this morning and I see a TikTok saying that Instagram is secretly having people follow JD Vance without them knowing. All of a sudden people are following JD Vance. So I go back to the Instagram page this morning. I look and my friend, she's following him. So, and like, I know her, like, so I reach out to her and I say, yo, are you actually following him? And this is what she had to say. She said, I'm doing a study. Did you intentionally follow JD Vance? What the fuck? No. How did that happen? And for that, I reported them. So apparently that's happening. A lot of people. Yeah. So, and I messaged 2 other people and they both said, no, they did not intentionally follow him. So the question remains, is Meta secretly following JD Vance? Now, my one friend, he did say that he followed Kamala and when she was VP. So that's the VP page, not JD Vance's personal page. And he's correct. However, I did a little bit of research into that by searching. If you search VP, okay, VP, because they're saying, because you're looking at that they transferred over the followers from Kamala Harris's VP account to JD Vance's, but it does show VP 46 as an archive. Why? So I guess they would transfer it over. So he's lost like 800,000 followers because she's at 16.9. He's at 16.1. So maybe that's it. If you're following JD Vance, all of a sudden that's it. What explained it. That's what my one buddy said. He's like, well, I was following Kamala, but it's so weird that it would just assume that you want to follow this new vice president, because technically wouldn't you be following VP 46 archive? Question mark? I don't know. That's what I think. Here, let's get me up on the old screen so you can see my lovely face. I know y'all love to see it. Right back down there where I belong. Yeah, so very interesting. I mean, obviously you've seen the Zuck who sucks. Speaking of him, not a big fan of AI. But there is something I got to show y'all. I had a good laugh. Where is it? Oh yeah, Mark, get in there. No, this is AI generated. I just thought this was funny. It's just so fucking. It's so good. I love it. Sorry, I'm a little all over the place because, like I said, I just fired up the stream, baby. I just fired up the stream. I just wanted to go live. Can you fucking blame a man? Can you blame a man for wanting to do something for himself? I'm a little discombobulated, but I do like showing Mark. Like, this is so fucking stupid. I mean, he got to go. Dude, it's so fucking funny. Like, the more I look at it, it's so fucking funny. It's so stupid. I love it. Oh my gosh. The Zuck. On another note, like, this is just kind of quick, like, fun news as well. Oh, shit. Oh, there we go. Meta is now reportedly offering TikTok creators up to $50,000 per month to exclusively post on Reels. You know, that was not on my 2025 bingo card, that because we've seen this we've seen this industry pivot, right? Where streamers were getting contracts with platforms to exclusively stream. We've seen it with podcasts. The podcast thing is still pretty much happening because there's exclusivity there. But the streaming world and content creation, that's really not happening. Podcast, sure. Yes. Come put your podcast exclusively on Spotify or Apple or whatever, and we'll sign a contract for that. That's still happening. But from the majority of like content creation, you're not really seeing people exclusively sign deals unless like you're fucking like some right-wing fuck like Dr. Disrespect or whatever. Well, he's a grift now. But, you know, unless you're an accused sexual predator and then you're getting offered money to go on one of those in platforms so that you can be like, fuck your cancel culture, right? She wasn't 18, but she was close. But I do find it interesting, and it was not on my 2025 bingo card, that we might see exclusivity deals for shorts creators. What the fuck are we talking about? Sorry to say it there, Zuck and Meta, but TikTok is way better for that. 100%. Don't get me wrong, Reels isn't too bad. That coffee tastes like piss, by the way. I'll still drink it, but it's not great. So yeah, I just think that TikTok is just so much better for that kind of content, and like the editing on it is so much better. And I think CapCut is kind of woven into the platform. It's so much better for people that just want to be creating and everything like that. Oh, dude, I'm messing up. I don't know if you saw my last video. I posted a video yesterday. No one's really watching it, which is fine. It's just about Elon and his dumb salute, which, by the way, but first I'll finish off one thought and then I'll go to this next thought. I keep forgetting I don't want to, it's funny. I built this like sick ass computer and then I don't want to challenge it. I'm like, I just wanted to take it easy. Like, I'm already streaming. I don't want to have to do like a ton of stuff, like record the videos that I'm also making so I can post them to any platform I so choose, right? So I haven't been recording. So some of like the content quality post video wise is garbage. Yeah, I thought I would just show you this real quick, but and like, yeah. But the self-proclaimed neo-Nazi, Nick Fuentes, this is what he had to say about Donald Trump's little
like that was a, and then
little
the like
salute.
straight up, and then the like straight up, like that was a serious Roman. It wasn't even like a subtle, like a wave, like one of these, like a Laura Ingraham. Remember when Laura Ingraham did that? That was a straight up like Sig Heil, like loving Hitler energy. that was like a straight up with intensity Roman salute. And then the like straight up,
I'm just going to go on a limb, and if a self-proclaimed neo-Nazi is saying that, I think it's safe to say that was a Nazi salute. But whatever, man. These people huff copium for a job. And then, of course, one thing I wanted to touch on about that whole thing as well is the mainstream media's role to play in not muting it, but toning it down as well, and not calling it for what it is. They're playing it off, and again, it's just like this weird suck up behavior. It's like, what, like you just, like, are you scared of Musk? Like, what's going on? Someone said, insane to me that the Hollywood Reporter of all places is commenting on this with any sort of moral clarity, while WAPO, NBC, CNN, etc. are actively avoiding any such coverage is pathetic. American journalism is so washed. So the Hollywood Reporter is the only one that actually, called it. Sometimes a Nazi salute is a Nazi salute, and they kind of clowned on like everybody else. Everybody learns from a pretty young age that Nazis were unfathomably evil, and they performed a Nazi salute, and this is something you don't copy in everyday life. This is what I'm saying. But the problem is that other than the Hollywood Reporter, every other media outlet is seeming, other than like certain independents, obviously you have the independent journalism out there that's good, or like smaller independent, like obviously the Onion's going to troll this, obviously like the Beaver and like other like very small independents. But as far as major news organization goes, they're kind of complicit almost in this by toning it down, by degrading what actually happened. Is it degrading? What like there's a word I'm looking for, but by not calling it what it is, and that's what it is. And they nailed it. Thankfully. When I was in 5th grade, some classmates got into trouble on the playground. 3 boys during recess march around shouted Sig Heil while performing a certain motion with their arms. I remember thinking this was wrong, with only a vague idea why it was. A teacher intervened. She explained to the boys what they were doing was very offensive. The boys were ashamed, and one explained they were playing like soldiers they saw in a movie. The incident and the teacher's reaction quickly spread throughout the school. Most of us have stories like this because everybody learns from a pretty young age that the Nazis were unfathomably evil, and they performed Nazi salute. And this is something you don't copy in your everyday life. As an adult, we flail our arms in endless ways, making gestures both conscious and unconscious. But after soaking up countless depictions of World War II in popular entertainment, we inherently understand there's one arm and wave you don't do. This is thankfully something that's also easy to avoid. It's not like we walk around like Dr. Strangelove, constantly having to grab our rebelling Fuhrer, saluting. Why would I put the accent on? What is wrong with me? Why, like, dude, like what just took over there? I put the accent on my Fuhrer, saluting arms, and then yank them back to our sides. Most of us manage to go our whole lives without ever looking like we're attending a Nuremberg rally. Absolutely. Now to Elon Musk. Musk is one of the most fascinating people of our age. What he's accomplished with SpaceX and Tesla is extraordinary. Blah, 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 blah. Glazing. A little bit of glazing. Don't like the glaze. Sorry, I wanted the donuts. No glaze. All right. Thank you. There goes social media trying to make a big deal out of nothing. Then I watched the video below. Musk movement was so ridiculous. Emphatic, dude. Holy crap. It's a Monday. No, it's not. It's Wednesday. Emphatic, such a precise expression. of what is so notorious. I think they meant notorious. So notorious. Oh, notorious and burned into our collective memory and performed with a clenched look on his face. That is hard not to think, wow, that tech billionaire just did a Nazi salute twice. So obviously, like, the copium is just, it's in full effect. I was reading this gigantic post on Twitter this morning where this guy was like, in all caps, like, to start this insanely long Twitter post, by the way, he has autism. Like, okay. So you know what I loved is that, like, that post was inundated by people commenting, I have autism, I'm not doing Nazi salute. Like, it's crazy. And like you see people commenting, they're infantizing. Don't listen to me, I'm not that smart, but infantile, dude, I'm gonna lose my mind if I don't get it right. Infantilizing. Yes, let's go. Infantilizing. We made it, ladies and gentlemen. People are infantilizing people with autism, okay? Do not do that. Like, people with autism are just people. It's a spectrum, you know? It can range from very, like, low grade to severe, you know, where, you know, you might need care or whatever. Guess what? Even people with severe autism, not just banging out Nazi salutes, man. And I doubt they would. They're pretty jovial people, okay? They're just stimming, having fun. That, on the other hand, is a grown-ass man who, see, you need to pick your lane, because you're like, he has autism. He doesn't know what he's doing. Oh, but I thought you guys tout him as like this gigantic genius who's going to save us and our planet, and he's like the leader of tech, and he's this amazing genius. But he has autism. Yeah, okay. Like, you can't have both. You can't have, he's autistic to the point that he doesn't understand what a Nazi salute is, but he's also a genius who's saving he's like one of the smartest men of all time. No, that's not how that works. He wanted to be cool. I said it yesterday. Okay. He wanted to be cool in a room full of fucking, see, that's what I thought of, like, after, is that all those people are racist on the low. And he knows that. He knows, like, this is a banger if I do this in this room, because all these people, but then, like, they do it and they're like, shit, like, good job, man. But we don't do that out in the open. That's why we wear masks, man. That's why the Ku Klux Klan wears masks. And this guy was like trying to be it right out in the open. And he deserves every bit of flack he can get. But of course, you know, the delusion, as I spoke of yesterday, is in full effect. So you obviously saw that. The infant, dude, I forgot already. Infantilizing. I'm not gonna. The infantilizing of that, so of autism. And then there was another point that I had about Musk as well, in terms of, what was it? I can't quite remember. But there's another point to go with it as well. It's exhausting, man. You like look at all this stuff and this and the people just downright trying to downplay it. I think that's what I was trying to think earlier about mainstream media. They're just downplaying what happened, and then you have that happening where mainstream media is downplaying it, and then you have people outright denying it. And it's crazy because we talked about denialism, and that goes hand in hand with that, because denialism is associated with people who deny that the Holocaust ever happened. And in real time, in 2025, because the most uneducated people ever have a voice. And you're seeing that. You're seeing that in full effect. Yeah. In the past 24 hours, they've turned blind. They've just turned ignorance to a 20, and they've infantilized people with autism. There was another point I had. I can't remember. Now I'm like losing my mind over it. It's not the end of the world though. I don't think it was some groundbreaking point. If I have to, that's me commenting on me. Now that we've kind of gotten a little bit of news out of the way, I think I might call my mom in a bit, see what she has to say about the whole Elon Musk thing and other things. Maybe my mom will know. In that update, still haven't built an animation. I've been very lazy, whatever, you do what you can. So, what's been going on with me? A little life update. Obviously I've been having a lot of fun streaming and hanging out with you guys here. I've been really enjoying that. I actually have been enjoying the gaming streams. I wish they were higher quality, which makes me wish I had a second computer, which sucks is I just got rid of it, my second computer. So that sucks. It is what it is. I'll figure it out. Don't you worry. I do want to do it. And I do want to do it high quality because I like doing this. I like the diversity of it. Okay. Oh. I've been very unsuccessful at working out lately, which is awful. But I need to admit that. I need to admit that to obviously myself, which I'm aware of, but I also admit it to you all as well. But I bought new shoes, new workout shoes. So I'm hoping that will motivate me to no, I'm not hoping that it'll motivate me, but bought new workout shoes and I'm really looking to like hit it hard. And I'm going to be kind of doing a minimalist workout about 4 times a week. I think that's what I'm going to go for. I need to do a lot of cardio. I need to lose weight. The problem is like this big belly right here, this big kahuna. Okay. That's the problem. That's where I'm at. Hold up. I'm just checking in on the stream status. Okay. So what's a minimalist workout? If you do not know, it's basically like a toned down 5x5. I'm not going to do quite the minimalist is generally like 3 sets per workout where you're focusing on certain types of like certain movements. So generally it starts with doing like squats, which I can't remember what like the direct muscle is. Like obviously I know what muscles those work. They like explain it in a different way. Like one is like hip activation, the other is like a push activation and shit like that. Squat is whatever. Okay, it's like a whole body activation. So you start with generally like a basic minimalist workout would go like squat, bench press, deadlifts or RDLs, something like, because that's where, like I said, like a hip movement, and then you have a pull movement, which would be like bent over rows, rows in general. You could probably even do like chin ups or pull ups as well, lat pull down, whatever. So I'm doing something like that where it's kind of like probably Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I'm going to throw in like an arm day in there as well. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about doing that. Obviously I'm going to go like hard on kettlebells as well. The thing is like kettlebells are great, but there's also like certain things where like kettlebells, gyms only have them up to so high. Even myself, I only have them up to 50 pounds from 20 to 20 plus like the 5 pound increments. I have that, like I have a decent collection from COVID of kettlebells. So I do workouts at home, but I do. So yeah, like with going to the gym, obviously, like I want to implement going back to the gym. Like I have been doing like some small workouts at home, but I obviously I want to incorporate more Stairmaster. I do want barbell squats to be a thing, a part of the workout, and then I will be implementing kettlebells as well into it. I just think it's like some things you need to kind of have like bigger, heavier weights to do, and barbells are perfect for that, and squat racks. So that's definitely what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to do more of like I wouldn't call it CrossFit because it's not. It's like a powerlifting program with arms. Because I'd rather I'd rather be healthy. I want to have like great movement, you know? I don't really care about being like super jacked. If you do, I mean, like programs like this could get you pretty jacked. The thing is like you want to find place like working out your legs 2 to 3 times a week. Your legs are gonna get fucking huge. Working out your chest 2 to 3 times a week, your chest is gonna get fucking huge. The thing is, like, if you're doing bench press or variations of bench like 2-3 times a week, that's huge. You're gonna see growth, right? However, you do need, like, in order to get like that well sculpted, well-rounded physique, you do also want to implement isolation workouts into your routines as well. In order to just, again, like I said, like that's where you're getting into the sculpting of the muscle when you're doing those kind of fine-tuned movements, like, pardon me, like leg extensions, for example. Although my legs looked the best when I was just doing kettlebell workouts at home and not doing that. I had the whole teardrop going on, but trust me, you want those machines in order to sculpt your body a little bit more doing isolation. So there's that. I also feel like I need to strictly start dieting. I have a fucking problem where I eat really fast, and I've like kind of got better at it and more conscious about it, but I need to like really, like, I'm not kidding, I need to just start eating salads for dinner, chicken and salads, and just watch portion control and be very shit. I mean, it's also a problem that my input is a lot and my output is next to nothing other than walking my dog. And then if I do bang out like a workout here, but it's nothing crazy, right? It needs to be like a routine. And right now it's not that. So, but I do think I really, really need to focus on diet as well. I eat healthy. I just eat a lot. Like I can eat, like this might be crazy to some people, but like last night I made a whole tray of chicken thighs from Costco, and I did have a salad, but I ate like 8 chicken thighs, maybe more, man. I'm not like proud of it. I think it's funny, but one thing I have been missing, I noticed, I just happened to like be looking at movie theaters and like what's playing at the theater and all that, and there's not much here. There's just like obviously what's new. One thing I like love doing is when it's for example, right now, Seven and like other David Fincher movies, like but just in particular Seven with Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt, that movie, and Kevin Spacey as well. That movie it's its 30th year anniversary, so it's playing in theaters, but they're also playing a bunch of other David Fincher's movies as well, like The Social Network, The Game with Michael Douglas, and there was another one I can't. Oh, Panic Room, which is also a great movie if you haven't seen it, with Forrest Whitaker and Jane Fonda. And they're all playing in the theater, but in Toronto. So I've been really missing that about Toronto, how I could go and I could watch like a great like older movie. It didn't have to be like this new movie. And like what I love is like some of these movies, they have like 1 p.m. They only have like one showing in the day because they're not making a lot of money off of them, obviously. So they're like in the middle of the day and no one is there. So you're just there getting to experience like this awesome movie that you might have been too young at the time it was released originally in theaters to go see. And now you get to go watch it by your like pretty much private screening. Other than like, I'm no joke, like the most I've ever had like at some of those viewings is maybe like 10 people, if that. And that's high. Like that's rare and it's great, honestly. But I miss it because there's nothing like that here, unfortunately. So, yeah. I mean, maybe it will. Maybe it'll have, just like when Interstellar was showing late last year. That wasn't happening here. In Toronto, it was though. So I miss that. I miss the big city about that. Other than that, job front. I've been focusing on this a lot. Obviously, I'm keeping my eye on what's available out there. Canada's a pit, bro. Right now, I'll say that. The job market is tough as fuck. Like it's it's so competitive. Because unemployment is so high. Especially and then like the lack of remote work is obviously very daunting. I did see a remote job that I'm extremely qualified for. I did apply, but I saw it like 16 hours after it was posted, and it had over 100 applicants. And like that's just what that's the max that LinkedIn shows, right? It says over 100. So I'm gonna guess around 200-300. And it didn't close for another 10 days after that, which is maddening. So, I mean, you do what you can. We just gotta, see it through and get there. Haven't heard anything about this one job I applied for, which is a little depressing, but what can you do? Sorry, I just had a message. But yeah. Other than that, Chip was bugging me. I love Chippy. But it's been so cold. We usually go for like decent walks. Like I said, like part of my exercise routine is taking him for walks and going to the park. And they shut down our park. The dog park closest to us, which sucks. So now I have to drive across the entire city to get to this other one, which I am doing because it's very important for him. There was actually like a little bit of a limbo point there where we weren't going, and he was just like paw on top of me, just like and I love the man. I love him. He's the best. He's my best friend. I love him so much. But I was like, dude, leave me alone. At some point, like it's like I don't mind, but it's like I get it. Like you haven't had that stimulus today, so we've been banging out going to the farther dog park, and he's been really enjoying that, which is great. And I completely see a shift in his behavior. He's nice and tired. Like, I mean, this morning he's nice and tired. I don't know where he is. Oh, hi, Chippy. He is behind the desk, even though he knows he's not supposed to go back there. But whatever. If he wants to go back there, that's fine. I'm not going to kick him out. It's funny because I bought him this like $80 fucking bed that he doesn't go on. But other than that, like we really shifted it. But it's been so cold here. Like today is -19 with a wind chill. It's like close to -30. And yesterday wasn't too bad. It was almost the same temperatures, but the sun was out and I felt like that kind of combated some of it. Today it is just overcast and it is so cold, and it's like, I worry about his nose, his paws, like everything like that. You should not be newsflash. If you don't know this, you should not be taking out your dog for longer than fucking 10 to 15 minutes. Okay? In temperatures like this, if you're living in Ontario and you're experiencing these cold temperatures, do not take your dog out longer than they need to be. I'm sure you'll get cold way before they do, so that's kind of a good thing. But you should still be paying attention to that. And 10 to 15 minutes is 15 is pushing it. Like, just be weary, pay attention, and take it seriously. That's all I'll say. Okay. All right, now we were already kind of talking a little bit about like politics stuff. So I did want to watch with y'all. I wanted to watch Bernie Sanders. He obviously attended Trump's inauguration. So I just wanted to watch that with you. I was at the Trump inauguration. Yeah, we get it, Bernie. You were there. So I just wanted to watch this with you guys. We can kind of react, check it out, see what he had to say, because I think his opinion matters. Also, we'll never forgive the DNC for torching Bernie in 2016. Okay, thanks so much. Okay, here we go.
Inauguration yesterday, and needless to say, I disagree with much of what he had to say. But what really struck me, however, is not what he said, which was not surprising given his rhetoric, but what he didn't say. The simple truth is that Donald Trump gave a major speech, the first speech of his second presidency, and ignored virtually every important issue facing the working families of this country. How crazy is that? Our healthcare system is broken, is dysfunctional, and it's wildly expensive. Not one word from Trump about how he is going to address the healthcare crisis. We pay by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs, sometimes 10 times more than the people in other countries. And 1 out of 4 Americans are unable to afford the prescriptions that their doctors prescribe. Not one word in his speech on the high cost of.
Fun fact, one of the executive orders he signed actually sent the cost of insulin, one thing that Bernie has been a huge proponent and fighter for, of lower costs for insulin. It went from I think it was like $85 or $65. Now it's like $600 to purchase insulin. So just to give you an idea of how it's not happening.
Prescription drugs. We have 800,000 Americans who are homeless, and millions of people spending 50 or 60% of their limited income on housing. We have a major housing crisis in America. Everybody knows it. And Trump, in his inaugural address, did not devote one word to it. Today in America, we have more income and wealth inequality than we have ever had. The wealthiest 3 people in America now own more wealth than the bottom half of our society. But Trump had nothing to say, not one word, about the growing gap between the very rich and everybody else. And maybe, just maybe, that's because he had those 3 people, the 3 wealthiest people in our country, sitting right behind.
Also to note that with Donald Trump releasing the Trump coin last week, the cryptocurrency, he made $40 billion from that. $40 billion. I mean, it's a little like, I understand that's what Bernie is saying is what he's hopeful for. It's like crazy to think that Donald Trump would be bringing any of this up. It's wild to think that he cares about this. Almost like, Bernie, what are you saying?
Behind them at its inauguration. And I should add that those 3 people, if you can believe it, and this really is unbelievable, saw their wealth increase by more than $233 billion since the November elections. How's that? $233 billion increase in wealth for the 3 wealthiest people. No wonder they were sitting right behind Donald Trump at his inauguration. They couldn't be happier. During his inaugural speech, Trump did not have one word to say about how we're going to address the planetary crisis of climate change. The last 10 years have been the warmest years ever recorded, and extreme weather disturbances and natural disasters are taking place all over the world, from Los Angeles to India, across Europe to North Carolina. Not one word from Trump about climate change, except, of course, to make it clear that he intends to make this horrific situation even worse with drill, baby, drill. Just brilliant. In the coming months and years, our job is not just to respond to every absurd statement that Donald Trump makes. Our job is to stay focused on the issues that are of importance to the working families of our country, and in fact are widely supported by the American people. Let me just mention a few of them. Yes, healthcare is a human right, and we must join every other major country in guaranteeing healthcare to all people through our Medicare for All single-payer program. Healthcare is a human right. Yes, we must take on the greed of Big Pharma and substantially lower the cost of prescription drugs in this country. Yes, we must build millions of units of affordable housing and low-income housing. Yes, we must make sure that all of our young people have the ability to get a higher education by making public colleges and universities tuition-free. Yes, we must work with the global community to combat climate change by cutting carbon emissions and transforming our energy system away from fossil fuel and into sustainable energy. Yes, we must pass legislation to raise the absurdly low federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour to a living wage of $17 an hour. Anybody who works 40 hours a week in this country should not be living in poverty. Yes, we must pass the PRO Act and make it easier for workers to join trade unions and grow the trade union movement in America. Yes, in order to help fund the needs of working families in this country, we must demand that the wealthiest people in this country, including those individuals sitting right beside Donald Trump at his inaugural, start paying their fair share of taxes. Yes, we must end a corrupt campaign finance system which allows a handful of billionaires to buy elections and move us rapidly into an oligarchic form of society. Bottom line, as we enter the new Trump presidency, we have got to remain focused. We cannot panic. No matter how many executive orders he signs, and no matter how many absurd statements he makes, our goal remains the same. We have got to educate, we have got to organize, we've got to put pressure on Congress to do the right things. And by the way, with Republicans only holding a 3 or 4 seat advantage in the House, we can stop them time and time again if we are organized. Finally, my friends, we have got to fight to create an America based on economic, social, racial, and environmental justice. That's what we've got to work on. Let's go forward. Let's do it. Thank you.
If you had Bernie post Obama, what a different outcome for that entire nation, just in my opinion. The US would be so far ahead right now had Bernie been elected in 2016 and not been snuffed out by the DNC. Whatever. He is exactly what like the DNC should be, and they're not. And that's why they're in fucking shambles right now, bro. They don't know what they're doing. And that's okay. Because you know what? You got to get caught with your pants down for you to fucking figure some shit out. And they really need to figure some shit out. I appreciate everything he's saying, but it's like crazy that he thought like Trump would address a lot of those things. It's like, I don't know, like Bernie, where you been? He doesn't align on any of that. He is like against like all of what you just said. But, you know, you have people like Bernie who are, you know, fighting for the good, for change, and fighting for what actually matters. And, you know, it's just damning to see like what happened from that. Okay. Maybe she'll be there, maybe she won't. I'm gonna bring up my mother. See what she has to say, get her take on like the whole thing. I'm sorry I don't have an animation, okay? Not like you guys give a shit, do you? Do ya? It's not like you give a shit. You know what's crazy? I just saw this come up. Your live stream gets the fart emoji. It's like, dude, did someone write that in my chat? Like, what does this mean? I need to Google it. Like, what does that mean? I don't get it. Is it like a mean comment? It's okay if it is. Is that like you get 2 farts? Like you're so bad? Like do you like? Like did I hit a milestone on YouTube streaming? Like or YouTube live or whatever? Like what is this? Oh, it is a YouTube. It is a channel. Your live stream gets a fart emoji. That's a real channel. That's so funny. Thank you. That's crazy. Look at this shit. Because I was like, okay. Does that mean it's bad? It's okay if it's bad. Like you can let me know if it's bad. I was just like, I thought like I like unlocked an emoji because the name is so stupid. I mean, that's cool. Thanks for the farts, man. Thanks for the engagement. I appreciate it. What else? Oh yeah, I was gonna ring up me mom. Super behind on that. Woo! This thing, I swear to God, I need some WD-40. This thing is so old. I bought this in like 2011. I want to say this is I've had friendships that haven't lasted that long. Oh, what am I doing right now? That's awesome. All right. Let's get it.
Hello?
Hello, Mother. I'm calling you live on my show.
Oh my God. I was just taking my blood pressure.
Well, it's about to go up. How's it going?
Good. Well, I mean, I could hardly keep awake. I felt like I should take a nap, but I already took one. But I need another one.
Hold on. I think you're coming through like multiple channels. Give me 2 seconds to kind of route this differently. Looks like you're coming through a little too many channels. And I don't...
Say that again?
Just give me 2 seconds. Don't say anything.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go... Oh, that's so weird that it did that. I don't know why I did that. Okay, you should be good to go now, Mom. I don't know why. You were coming through multiple channels.
Well, because I have multiple personalities.
Ah, yes. It knew that you, yeah. I like how the Bluetooth knew. That was so weird. I didn't even enable that. How's your day going?
Of course. Well, you know, it's cold out and it's gloomy and it's like typical Canadian weather. It's shitty. But anyways, I was ready to put something on streaming. So, you know, that's about it. But,
nice.
Yeah.
So I want to call and ask your take on the Elon Musk salute. Do you think he was doing this is another funny thing is I remembered what I was going to say about Elon Musk. One, that the right-wing people are infantilizing. I got it on the first try. Infantilizing people with autism, saying he has autism, so he didn't mean it, or he overstimulated or whatever. And then that they also, dude, I just had it and now I forgot it again. Oh, and then they said that it was the Roman salute. They're like saying he brought back it's like, dude, it hasn't been called the Roman salute for like 5 centuries. What are we talking about? Anyway, I digress. What is your take on Elon Musk and his salute?
He's an idiot with a lot of money.
Well, this is very obvious. Yes, we know this.
I mean, there's a culture that if you're rich, that somehow or another you're very smart, and he very well could be very smart. It's just that if he is on the spectrum, a lot of people that are on the spectrum miss a lot of social cues. So he kind of does his own thing because he feels that he's allowed to do that. I think that 5th century thing has to do with the presumed salute that he did at the end.
So do you believe it was a Nazi salute, yes or no?
Right. Well, he can call it whatever it was.
What do you call it? What do you call it?
What do I call it? It was a Nazi salute.
Okay, we're getting there. Okay, I was a little worried for a moment, Mom. I thought you were, going to say it wasn't.
Well, no, he tried to pass it off that it was some sort of like Roman salute, and from centuries ago, and this sort of thing. When you have a president, the clown that's currently in office, who goes by, his favorite bedtime reading could be Mein Kampf. That is, that's the first thing you're going to think of is Nazis, brown shirts, pure race, whatever. The bigger issue right now is the absolutely disgusting letting the people out of prison who caused the insurrection. He has basically just turned around and said to everybody in the United States that it's a free-for-all to attack police or anybody in authority. And of course, Jim Acosta, which I just love as an interviewer, had this drinking the Kool-Aid congressman on his show this morning, and he posed a question that if any of these people that are being left out of jail commit any further crimes, will Trump be responsible for those crimes? And that's a really good question. But the scariest thing is that during the whole election process, Trump told people what they wanted to hear. He was going to fix the affordability of houses. He was going to fix the affordability of food. He was going to fix inflation. He was going to do all these things. But the bottom line is now his true colors are showing. He is a man that is out for revenge, and out of his sick and twisted perceived view of the world, anybody that has demeaned him, attacked him, assaulted him, did not put him on that pedestal and kiss the ring and bend the knee, he will go after them. This is what, and of course it's that old adage, they came for the Jews, I said nothing. They came for the gypsies, I said nothing. And then they came for me, there was nobody left. So, God, they're going to be in for a very long 4 years in the States. And it's going to be absolute chaos. He's not out to fix anything that will better the middle class, lower class income. It will all be favoring his billionaire friends. And it's a very, very sad commentary on the country. I will not step foot in that country in the next 4 years, at least. And I haven't been in there.
I can tell you what I could tell you what most people would say to that. They'd be like, no, we don't fucking want you here. So. Well,
that's fine. He, in more, what should I say, more kind of normal conditions, he has said to our country that I'm going to cause you economic ruin. And, sometimes that has been enough to create a war, like an actual physical war. What I've said before, a couple things that have to take issue. It's about time Canada has to really stand up on their own 2 feet. When you have
that's a stretch, man. That's a stretch.
No, when you have a country that we have been relying on for our protection at their particular costing. What happens when you take that is that you then open the door that they have the right to tell you what to do, how to do it, when to do it. And the bottom line is that maybe at the cost of maybe some social programs that we look at, we have to really, really spend the money on our armed forces. We have to really protect our borders. And we have to really show that we are just not the peacekeepers that go in after the big guys have started the war. That we, not that we pose a threat, because there's enough countries that are doing that, but that we're not some fluff country. I think Trudeau and his sunny ways have kind of put us in that namby-pamby position.
So you sound like you're going to vote conservative in the next election.
I really, truly, I think the bottom line is that regardless of your political take, you just wanted Justin to go. 9 years was enough. We needed to change. We need a fresh set of eyes to see. And he was the type of leader who micromanaged, super micromanaged. So all his ministers were nothing more than bobbleheads that, while he was talking, they were all shaking their heads, whatever. I really don't think that a lot of them were able to express their own views. And if they did, like Jody Raybould-Wilson and the former Minister of Health, who did speak their words, and even Chrystia Freeland lately, is that he doesn't like strong women who say no to him. So that's quite evident.
And you're a big proponent of strong women. You notice that. I know you do. That's you.
Yeah. Like once a woman, because the reason being is, and this is a completely different topic, is that what most women go through in their entire life is being dismissed.
Right.
If a woman can do a typical man's job, it's denoted that it's easy. And that's been, our views, our opinions have been totally dismissed. And as we get older, me and, I point to as a senior, is that we become invisible at that point.
That's true. I haven't seen you in a while.
Getting back to the conservatives, however, is that a lot of people with the polls now show that the conservatives are X number of points ahead of the liberals. But again, my theory is that when it really comes to voting, and voting for a Liberal MP based on the numbers to fill up Parliament, would the Conservatives still get the vote to make Pierre the PM? And to be quite honest with you, when it really comes to marking that ballot, I don't think a lot of people are going to do that.
Mm. Yeah.
We have Trudeau, who is a generational politician. Daddy was the Prime Minister, and it's always been, Trudeau has kind of fallen in place. Pierre is a professional politician. The man has been a politician since he's been 25 years old. Does he know what it's like to get up and you have pissy boss? Do you know what it's like when your kid is sick and you can't get into work and you've got to call them and tell them that, you can't make it into work, and then you're blacklisted by your boss? He has absolutely no idea what it's like to hold a real job with the current corporate stature right now in Canada. And of course, it's very typical today is that it is the Bell Let's Talk. Need I say more?
Is today Bell Let's Talk?
Oh yeah, January 22nd. I don't know why they moved it up. Normally it was the 31st, which was the trigger for me, but they moved it up today. I'm positive it's today.
Really?
So anyway,
yeah, which is a farce, of course.
Oh well, yeah. Well, yeah. It is. It's something they don't. Let's put it this way: they don't practice what they preach. That's all I will say on the matter. It's what middle management may do, whatever. It's just
Yeah.
it's bullshit. It's you know, a case in point, and it goes back to what I said with that show, The Agenda, is that the world right now is moving from still holds on to the industrial age mentality, where you have a big corporation, a big, huge office landscape, and all your minions punch a clock, go in, work at this big establishment, get the machines up and running and humming, and put in their 40 hours a week in this solid thing. Whereas we are in the digital age. We don't need to gather people in big, huge buildings anymore. And, most of our telecommunication companies and internet companies are selling services to corporate Canada, claiming that you can do business in any port in the world. But yet, when it comes to their actual employees, they're demanding that they come into the building. And that's because they hold an awful lot of real estate, which the corporations did not go to the employee and say, hey, what do you think about buying that building for, $25 million? So, they're making the employee pay for a decision that was made by your typical middle-aged white guy who is management.
Well, actually, there is an article today on Now Toronto saying Bell Let's Talk Day garnered with mixed reaction as some Canadians question if the company's culture matches the message. Today marks Bell Let's Talk Day, a day dedicated to eliminating stigma around mental health. But the National Telecommunications Company is receiving some criticism over reports of an unhealthy work environment. So,
where's this?
This is an article by Now Toronto. Yeah.
I'll give that person an applause. It's true. Absolutely true.
Yeah, the article goes on to say this year the company is spotlighting the growing youth mental health crisis in Canada, which it says is in serious decline with increasing rates of anxiety, depression, and suicidal ideation. According to the organization, 1.25 million young people in Canada need help, but half aren't getting the support they need, while 1 in 4 have considered suicide. It doesn't go on to say. Yeah, I'm not seeing where they're kind of touching on. It's kind of talking about.
Well, yes, that report about young people not getting the services that they need. And here's the dichotomy. Here's the irony of that whole thing. You want to stop homelessness, you start nipping mental health in the bud. And I'm not talking about labeling people and whatever, but I think
you want to kill all homeless people. That's what you're saying, right?
No, well,
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you.
All these homeless people at one point were probably little kids in grade school that had issues, that were disruptive, that were, maybe they got into petty crime, maybe the home situation that there was.
Right. I mean, that's not always the case, though. Some people.
No, it's not always the case, but I'm just saying that we have to remove the stigma, but we have to identify too when somebody is drowning. And catching it before it escalates to where the person then starts self-medicating through drugs and alcohol. Or, for example, food. Food is, a comfort thing. I'm not saying that all of these people don't write letters, but in this typical weather, and I mentioned that to you the other day, you want those comfort foods. You want that mac and cheese piping hot, the bowl of it. You want chips, you want chocolate, all that sort of stuff. But anyways, that's getting off the track. Mental health is probably one of the biggest things that impact what's going on.
So now obviously like this would bring into question the quality of care that one would get, but do you think that OHIP should include a certain amount of whether it's to see a psychotherapist or therapy? Do you think that should be included in OHIP? Is that what you're saying? Would that be your solution?
Yeah, because it's no different than, well, we all know that what corporate Canada is doing, or if you happen to work for small to medium businesses, is that the erosion of benefits.
Right.
And that people could use. And, I know of an individual who's still working, and their company allows for $5,000 annually for wellness programs.
Wow, that's
if
a
you
lot.
want to use it for therapy, or if you want to use it for reducing your stress in your life, that to me, I salute them. I salute them in doing that. And what's happening is that to see a psychiatrist, which right now is the only mental health person that's covered by OHIP.
Right.
And psychiatrists, in retrospect, should be used for those that really have serious mental health problems. And I'm not saying that, we know the type of mental health that a psychiatrist should be doing. But then you get into therapists, psychotherapists, and psychologists who are not covered, and you are looking at well over $200 an hour. And case in point, when I was working with my benefits at the time, I was allowed 10 visits. 10 visits.
Right, which
didn't
isn't
even
like
cover,
right. That's not even like even if you're going once a month, like that's not an entire year.
that's ridiculous. Like 10 visits did absolutely nothing. And
Right.
then what you did is you returned to the toxic environment that was causing you the issues anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just this vicious circle. And it was money that definitely wasn't well spent, whatever. I think that businesses have an obligation to ensure that the mental health and well-being of their employees is paramount to
Right.
that. They right now with the bringing people back into the office, and they talk about the sociable aspect of people around you, and being able to see how your performance is with developing you and mentoring you and ever. And you know what? Those arguments are such bullshit. The only thing I had in common with most of the people that I worked with is the fact we all work for the same damn company. Was there a good portion of them that I socialized even outside of work? Hell no. Hell no.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny,
and
like
there was a lot of them I couldn't stand,
yeah, it's
So-
funny that we're also talking about Bell, which is a federally regulated company, and they have Bell Let's Talk Day. But, when you talk about, business practices, where the mental health should be paramount of their employees, and this federally regulated company is unable to also provide such help.
Well, I don't think it should be the fact that, sometimes government is just is sometimes too much in the business of people and of companies. I just think that the mentality and the common sense, it's nothing more than common sense, of business management and recognizing that where do we spend most of our waking hours? And that is with our employer. And if you want your company to excel and grow and they're profitable and productivity and so on, is that it's paramount that the employee feels understood, seen, heard, and, it's not always necessarily about the money.
Right.
It has to be if you're, being ignored or being chastised. And one of the things that is still very much promoted and practiced in businesses, and I term it as blanket management. You've got a couple of assholes that are working. They call in sick just before a long weekend or on a weekend. Their work is subpar, whatever, but they're never addressed and challenged one-on-one with management. What management does is that they penalize everybody. So even though that you're a company, an employee that is towing the line, you're abiding by the rules, you're doing the work to the best of your ability, putting in that effort, showing up every day, and so on, you're getting the same type of discrimination as this person who is causing the problem. And it's a no balls management to take these people on and one-on-one, and you start setting out, guidelines and parameters for them to shape up. And if they're not going to continue to do it, is you then have to look at termination. In unionized shops, there's already processes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Dude, you go. Like, you fucking just go. like it's like, no wonder you have a son that wants to talk on a microphone for like a living or whatever, like as a hobby. You wind you up and you fucking go. Like, there's almost nowhere room to get in. I appreciate you and what you're saying, though. I need to say that.
Well, it's let's put it this way. I'm a much better conversationalist than Joe Rogan. I saw.
Oh my God, where is this coming from? Yeah.
Well, Joe Rogan, about Canada and really.
Well, he's just uneducated on the matter. It's I understand.
There's a lot of choice words about Justin Trudeau, and I started thinking, like, who is this Joe Rogan? Like, I know nothing about him. I'll be honest with you. I don't know anything about him. However, whose bald head was, kissing the ring, bending the knee, and drinking the Kool-Aid during the inauguration?
Right.
Joe Rogan. So now you know where his loyalties are. And to be quite honest with you, at this point, anything that spews out of his mouth really, truly has no intellectual basis whatsoever, because you look at who he is supporting. And, at this point, he probably won't lose any viewers to his show or whatever. But the point is that if you're embracing that twice impeached, 34 felon convicted convict who now is the president, I mean, I cannot believe a country like the United States elected a convicted con man, a felon. He is a felon, and that the point is which is going to show, does it mean anything, is that a typical person who has a felony conviction would not be able to cross a lot of borders or come into the country of a lot of countries. So what is going to happen when Trump comes in, I think it's April, May, whatever, the G7, right? Are we going to hold him up? He won't be held off at the border. But Joe Smith, who did a couple beanies, and he's got, they were felony convictions because he had a weapon on him, blah, 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 he would not be allowed into Canada.
Right.
But just because, and it's like the judge that...
Mom, what are we talking about? Mom, I don't even know what you're talking about anymore. Okay, I called to ask you about Elon Musk. You're like a runaway fucking train. I'm not saying what you're saying isn't important, but you're just going. You're going.
Well, it's looking at the rules that
it's to the point where it's not even my show, and you've hijacked the show. I'm taking it back. I appreciate you, but you're fucking going. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about anymore.
Well, the point is that people are, there's a lot of chaos going on in the world.
Well,
being.
Yeah, and you're in the know. I get it. No, and I appreciate. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it. It's just take a breath. We're gonna reel it back. I gotta say, and this goes back because you, dude, you.
Hey, let me just tell you this, young man. You're the one that called me. Now, if you don't want to hear what I have to say.
No. I appreciate you, but I need you to understand that, like, you're like if I put a tire at the top of a hill and let it roll down. Like, you just keep fucking going. You like it's.
Well, see, I had very few people that asked for my opinion.
I can't imagine why.
What?
No.
I mean,
No.
if I had more people. If I had more people
All I'm saying
asking
is
for my opinion-
it's just hard to get a word in a little bit because you are going like you're talking about something and then you're like and then like all of a sudden it segues into another thing and I'm like, how did I get here? What happened? You know? And I'm like losing my fucking mind a little bit. Like because I'm like keeping up and then I'm like, wait a minute, like what the fuck are we talking about? But it's appreciated nonetheless. Okay, like you talk.
We're something. Any of the stuff that I've spoken about is all factual.
I know.
Like, I mean,
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying you are a legitimate runaway. Like I called. I'm like, hey, do you think that was a Nazi salute? And like you, and I appreciate it because like nothing worse than calling someone and they're a fucking dud. You're the opposite of that. You're like the other end of it where you are just a runaway train. Like think about where we started and where we're going. You're just going. I could have got up and walked away and you would have kept going. Please tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. 100%. You would have kept going. And it's funny to me.
Yeah, but you made the phone call. Like, if you don't want to hear what I have to say, then don't call.
No, see, you're taking this the wrong way. I do want to hear what you have to say. I'm saying that you're a bit of a runaway train where you're talking like you're just going.
Because there is so much crap going on that people need to think. And you know what? That's what's probably what the problem is.
I'm going to be honest. There's not enough time when you're talking for them to even catch up to think. You got to slow it down a bit. You do.
Well, I should go back to take my blood pressure now.
Well, this is what I'm saying. No wonder your blood pressure's so fucking high. Like, it's funny to me because, like, it's funny to me just because you're my mom. So,
well,
like,
maybe you can start a GoFundMe account for people for money's lower. I'd like to go and take a trip to Bora Bora where it's nice and warm.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what we need a GoFundMe for. Absolutely, 100%.
Well, listen, you know what? It's 1:25, and I need to have lunch, and so I'm going to sign off, and we can chat about a million other topics.
We will. Yes, we will continue this where I give you a call. It's just funny today because like this is like the first real test. This is the first real experience, and it's and you go like you're great. Like thank you so much for that. It's just it kind of blows my mind because you, mom, you got something else like going on. Like you're special at that shit. That's so funny.
Well, what can I say? I mean,
I did want to just bring up one thing because and this is what I mean. You kind of talk and you just kind of go and like for me to kind of interject and like say something because I don't want to interrupt you at the same time. Right. So I kind of just like let you go. But to the point that like we skipped over so many things that I couldn't really give a little bit of input. And one thing when you were talking about, Canada standing on their own 2 feet, I don't know if you saw with Justin Trudeau saying that we're going to go dollar for dollar on tariffs with the United States. So essentially a trade war with the United States. Like, what is your thoughts on that?
Oh, you know what? There's a lot of resources that the United States are very dependent on Canada. What Trump really wants is our water. Our water. I mean, the states, I don't know whether I read this or not, but the fear of losing the availability of water. I think California is one of them, especially with the lack of rain and stuff like this. The other thing is that oil and gas that we have, and absolutely, we would have to stand up to him. He wants to put a 25% tariff on any goods that we manufacture that come through Canada, and knows that that's going to impact us. It's all part of his protectionism. Well, two can play that game. But there's we're kind of looking at it. Are there resources from the States that we truly rely on? I'm not so sure that we couldn't get from other countries. I think a lot of it has to do about the fact that, geographically we're attached to the United States, but we have always been their strongest trading partner and supported them and so on. And then to have somebody like him come in and put us into kind of like a non-ally position. I think that's where it's more insulting, that he's not looking at us as the good neighbor, the strong neighbor, the supportive neighbor, that we could work together. We might need to hammer out what the deals are. That is what the man does. He tears down, he destroys, he annihilates, and then he moves on because he has such a short attention span. He needs something else to it. And that's exactly what
Is that how you see me? Like, I have a short attention span as well. Do you?
Well, you do, with just telling me that I talked about too many topics, And
No. Yeah, honestly, like, I swear to Christ, I'm gonna come over to your place and I'm gonna play it for you, and then you can see my facial expressions at the same time, and it's like, like, I want you to know that it's impressive because, like you said, it's factual. Like, what you're saying is true. But you are like a car, like you're like a wind up toy. Like, you wind you up and you fucking go. Okay. All right.
Not bad for an old broad, eh?
Yeah, I know. It's good. Like, I knew it'd be fun and funny. And like, I knew you would have a lot to say. So I'm happy. I obviously like that. This is like a great segment. And like, this is, something I want to continue and do. So I completely agree as well. And we also supply 75 or 74% of their gas as well to the United States. So it's not just water, but it is water, but it's also gas. Like, we're a large supplier of gas to them. So gas.
What's interesting is there's a head chief of an indigenous group out in BC that were very much against a particular pipeline to run oil or gas, I don't know which one, to the Pacific coast in order to export it. And now he came out with a statement that the times have changed, the environment has changed, and we now have to, as an indigenous group or entity, they now have to think differently with regards to the pipeline. And I found that to be quite interesting, that we would, and rightfully so, we need the buy-in of First Nations with any sort of, based on environmental and so on. But I found that to be interesting. But it goes with his Trump's inauguration speech, when he yells out, "Drill, baby, drill."
Right.
Because they were going to, I think Biden put a moratorium on drilling offshore of the United States. And Trump is going to resurrect all this stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I think this is going to be the time for Canada to really shine. They've really stepped up and show that we are not going to just roll over to this clown in the United States,
Right.
Just because he says so. Is it kind of a wake up call for Canada? You betcha. Which means that we have to take it very, very seriously. So, but on
Absolutely.
that note, I'm going to go.
Okay.
Okay, so
right.
Call me after you finish your program.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do. Thank you
okay.
again so much. All right. I'll call you again on Friday. We'll check back in. I'm
All
sure the
right.
world will just be in as much chaos, because I read just now that Trump has revoked the Equal Employment Opportunity Act of 1965, which the order prohibited discrimination in hiring and employment based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. So,
See? There he goes.
All
Tear
right.
down, destroy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, Dalt.
All right. Love you, Mom. Thank you so much.
Love you too. Bye.
Okay. Bye. My mother, ladies and gentlemen, now you know. Now you know where it comes from. Okay. Am I crazy? I know Jessica was tuned in. Thank you, Jessica. Also, by the way, for the follow. I couldn't, honestly, trying to get a word in between my mother. Chippy randomly stretches behind my desk. Hi, buddy. Trying to get a word in, like, with my mother. Like, that was crazy. Like, that was that was a fucking time, ladies and gentlemen. But she's great. She's great at going, like, she just goes, though, right? Like, it's holy shit. Like, imagine her lecturing you on some shit. Like, I'm like I felt like I was like high at one point. I'm like, how the fuck I got here, dude? How did I get there? So, yeah, lovely lady. Has a lot to say, obviously. That's why, like, I wanted to include her in this. She always, like, has, like, good input and good things to say. And very valid takes on that. She just has to kind of stay focused. My mom has been thinking that she has ADHD. Recently, it's showing. This lady is dude. I was thinking this while my mom was going. Like, I thought I could yap. My mom is a fucking all-time yapper. All time. If she made a TikTok, oh, look the fuck out, Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Your fucking heads would flip all, like, off your body. You'd do a fucking backflip. My mom's such a yapper. Y'all would not be prepared. Dude, she yapped. And, like, not to a bad, I don't want to talk shit. I'm talking shit. She was fucking yapping. But whatever. She was saying good shit. She participated in the stream. Why she needs an animation. And I know some of you would appreciate that. Anyone that's tuned in, thank you so much for watching. As always,
You're listening to Freed FM.
don't forget, we have.
You're listening to Freed FM.
Don't forget, that's where we're at. Okay, so closing it down with a Marvel Rivals rant. Might call Charlie at the end of it, but ladies and gentlemen, I was playing yesterday. If you weren't watching the stream, I'm going to be playing tomorrow as well. I'm going to be doing a gaming stream purely tomorrow. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do like the Freed FM Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 12 to whenever I feel like. And then we're going to be doing gaming streams Tuesday, Thursday, maybe Saturday, Sunday. We'll see what the schedule is. Right now, I don't have a busy one. So I don't mind implementing a little bit more. So Marvel Rivals. Yesterday was rough. If you watched the stream, I won like the first few games. I'm teetering on the cusp of getting into platinum, which is getting up there as far as ranks go because, you know, top 500 is GM. Well, yeah, Grandmaster is top 500. So, I mean, even in Diamond, you're getting up there, right? So once you get past platinum, you're into Diamond. You're like kind of in the upper echelon of the game. So I'm trying to like kind of break through that point. It is crazy to me. This game, why is this game so fucking maddening? Okay. You will play like you'll play like, let's say 8 games. Okay. 8 games. You'll get 2 games where you're with fucking god tier level teams. Just amazing teams, cohesive, working together. Everyone knows their roles. If people got to change characters, no one gets upset. They're not little bitches about it. Okay. And then the other time you're playing with people, like, I don't even know how they made it to that rank. Gold 1 is like, that was kind of a lot of hours for me to achieve. Like, that was hard work. I know how to play the game. I know what needs to go into the game. I know how to work together in a fucking team. I know that you're not going to win that game without working on a fucking team. And then you get like these people that are so like the biggest morons you've ever encountered in your life for the next fucking like 5 games, or it's like broken up. It's like win, loss, win, loss, win. And I'm fucking losing. I'm like losing my fucking mind with it, man. It's so maddening. It's crazy to me because I don't understand what their fucking matchmaking is. Like, the teams are so one-sided, and I even see that in my wins. Now I understand, like, the cohesiveness can really affect like how dominant a team is, right? Like if teams don't play well together. But you generally think that most people know how to play the game, they know how to play it well. At that point, they're pretty good. Like they're, you know, you're in the top like 15% of people on that game. How did you get there? If you're ass, I don't know. You could have got carried. Maybe you did. Would be surprised. However, these people that you're playing with do not know how to play the fucking game. And I don't understand. Okay? And it's so frustrating. Like, I don't know what the matchmaking is saying, where it's so one-sided to one team. One team is so superior to the other team. It's crazy. Like, it's not like, okay, we'll put two bums on one team and then like it'll be kind of even. It's like 6 fucking dope motherfuckers and 6 lemons, man. 6 absolute lemmings too. Lemmings. They're just running off a cliff. They're not doing anything. I played with a guy yesterday who, because there was no Luna on our team, no one was playing Luna. It wasn't like we went to off-healers. Like we had Adam and Rocket. He's like, okay, didn't know y'all were throwing because we're not playing. This is literally like the first 15 seconds of the game. He's like, okay, I'm just going to go Spider-Man. And like, he never went for the point. Then he switched to Hulk and he just pushed into their spawn the whole time. It's like, okay. And then people were chirping him in chat. He's like, yeah, well, we were throwing. And I'm like, that's crazy that you think that. It's crazy that you would just choose to play the way you are just because someone didn't select one character. Honestly, it's fucking maddening. I hate it. So I'm super pissed. I don't know. Like, it's just so frustrating. I'm calling Charles. Hold on one sec. We'll see if he answers. He's not going to answer.
Call has been forwarded to not.
All right. Not available, unfortunately. Of course, maybe he'll call me back before the end of the stream. But yeah, it's to the point where the matchmaking is so bad, so far. I am currently right now, I am on like a 6 losing streak, maybe more, because I just said, you know what, fuck it, like I'm getting off. But this is what I'm saying. It's to the point that it's deterring me from playing the game. Why do I want to play with people who suck? If I wanted to do that, I'd just go quick play and it doesn't even matter. I could do whatever I want in quick play. I could just go the dumbest character who I suck at and just have fun, because in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. How are people making it to higher ranks in this game? And my theory is that these people who are creating accounts, like that, you know, maybe they weren't there for season 0 or whatever you want to call it when the game first launched. They're here for season 1. Okay. They just made an account like a week or 2 ago. They played, they got to level 10. They're now doing competitive. I feel like the game is giving them super easy lobbies in order to climb the ranks, so that, you know, because what's good for every single game that's like this, like free to play, like we saw with Warzone, you give advantage, like just like with SBMM, you give fucking advantages to shitty fucking people and they'll spend more money on your shitty game. So I'm not calling it a shitty game, but it's just making me so mad to the point that I'm losing my fucking mind. Okay. And I'm over it. Marvel Rivals, figure out your fucking matchmaking. Not just me. It's crazy. Like I'm trying to string together like you know, like use like that mathematics animation that people use, that meme. I'm like trying to like put it together. It's like like maybe because like my win percentages is like going lower, that I'm like lower class, like I'm getting, you know, maybe it's pairing me with like losers. It's like, why would it do that? Why wouldn't it just be at random? Just pair me with people. But no, it's like bum team, bum team, bum team. And the part that frustrates me the most is I've played with enough good teams, and I've played definitely enough with enough fucking bad teams to know when we're gonna win or lose. I can already tell, like right out the gate, you know, first 2 minutes of the game, it's like, all right, this is over. We should just surrender. They never want to surrender. These shitty teams, they're like, no, today we got it. It's like, I don't think you'd get that. We don't got it. The other team is starching us, bro. They're fucking us right to the core. And you're like, let's get it. All right. Yeah. Be sure to not do that. So I'm like kind of fucking pissed about that. Oh, man. But again, doing a big stream tomorrow. Gonna probably do like 4 to 5 hours, maybe more, maybe even 6. I'll probably shoot for so many. What's tomorrow? Thursday? Yeah, probably like a 10 to 3, 10 to 4. What's that? Like a 6-hour stream? 6-7 hour stream? Was that 2? Yeah, it's 6 hours. So yeah, probably like a 6-hour stream tomorrow, just like straight up Marvel Rivals, like gonna go hard on that. Very much excited to just grind it out. I might even do it today. I might hop on because like I talk about it and I have an itch to play. But if it starts going bad, like tomorrow, I'm willing to do the sacrifice of, okay, whatever, I'll play for like 6 hours. If it goes bad, I'll keep playing. Today, if it goes bad, I'm getting off. I'm getting off. Okay? Can't fucking take it anymore. Seriously, it's the most maddening matchmaking. And obviously, it's like one of those games you will never be that guy that just carries your team to victory. And that's another thing with like these shitty teams. Like when you get these shitty teams, they're not necessarily like people who don't know how to play the game, but you get like super selfish people. Like they're not willing to change off. Like if you tell them they're doing bad, which is fair because like that happens. You could be like, hey, like you're negative, like you're a DPS, right? Like say you're going Moon Knight, and by the end of round 1 or whatever, you're 4-8. Get the fuck off Moon Knight. Change your character to I don't give a fuck anyone else. Change it up. Figure it out. Say, hey, you know what? I'd rather go healing, guys. Hey, maybe I should tank. Like figure it the fuck out. And all these people, they don't fucking do that. That's what you run into on like these shitty teams. A lot of selfishness and a lot of like getting all fucking upset. Like, no, I'm staying what I am. It's like you're fucking garbage at what you are right now, bro. So you need to figure it the fuck out. Okay. So that's like number one, super selfish. And then like to kind of go with that selfishness is they don't play the point. They think they're him. They're fucking fighting like they're Spider-Man. They're swinging over into their spawn. They're not actually on the point. They're DPS. Like they're fucking anywhere but the point. It's like, I don't know if any of you fucking morons clued in that all 6 of their team is where the objective is. You're not. And then you're mad being like fucking healing diff. Oh, healing diff. Oh, tank diff. But where were you? Fingering your fucking ass. Idiots. Honestly, it's so fucking stupid. You're dumb if you're playing that game like that. And you deserve to lose. If you start blaming your fucking teammates when you're shit and you're not on that objective. I play healer and I'm on that fucking objective like it's my goddamn fucking pride and joy. Yeah. Well, should be still. Oh no, he's not behind the desk anymore. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I hope this has been an informative, lovely episode of Free FM. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to wrap it up here and try to figure out my life. We'll see where we get. No promises. I felt like the show I planned was longer, and I'm like looking at everything I had written down. No. Sin. I could hop into some Marvel Rivals gameplay. Maybe I'll pop back on. We'll see what's up. I know some streamers do that and I've been doing that too, where I chat a little bit at the start and then I get into gameplay. Oh. Sorry about that. How about you don't do that? There we go. Sorry, that was like something to do with the Bluetooth. That was weird. I guess I'll talk about this really quick before I pop off. Call of Duty Season 2, January 28th. This is what I guess everyone's been looking forward to. I'm over Call of Duty. I might play it tonight because, you know, I got a couple of boys that like I haven't played with in a bit, and like I wouldn't play, like they don't want to play Marvel Rivals, and like at this point, like I'm so high ranked compared, so they wouldn't even be able to play with me competitive. I don't think they wouldn't be allowed in the lobby. Dude, I'm so over Call of Duty. And you even saw like I think it was Modern, can't remember what the account, it might have been Charlie Intel or just someone. It was like one of these Call of Duty Twitters that, you know, post all the hype shit and whatever, all the like latest updates and information about anything Call of Duty. And he posted a poll where it was about 16,000 people, and it was asking, do you think even Verdansk could save Warzone? And 74% said no. And I agree, man. I'm just bored of it. I'm bored of the whole Call of Duty thing. And everyone, I mean, like, you're going to find sweats on any video game, so it's kind of redundant to complain about sweats, but like, what is like, I don't see anything in this battle pass or whatever. Oh, they are bringing Arnold. That's so funny. I gotta tell Justin. Oh my god, he always said if they ever brought Arnold, he would buy it. Well, man, they're bringing Call of Duty. They're bringing Terminator Arnold to Call of Duty. Because I think before they had just the exoskeleton. Now they're actually bringing Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't care. It's just more money that they want. All it is at this point, man. It just feels like a giant money grab. It's bloody exhausting is what it is. Yeah, like all the weapons look like shit. Done with it. We got the PPSH, which classic gun. Honestly, I like Cypher. That might have been from like a different Black Ops game. The Fang 82, and then the TR2. That's what I think about that. I like how I know they have addressed some things about the Ricochet, and I know on console you can now turn off crossplay. So obviously your chance of running into a cheater is highly unlikely in that scenario. I mean, there's still like, I don't know. I don't know if the Cronus is compatible with Xbox. I know there was like an update where it wasn't any longer with PlayStation, but I mean, that's the thing about like cheating companies and companies that manufacture these products. Their business is to find ways around that and to update their products in order to allow you to cheat, right? So we'll have to see. But yeah, this looks pretty terrible. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm ending it there. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you watched, I appreciate you. We'll be doing a game stream, Marvel Rivals, tomorrow. Probably going live at 10 or 11 a.m. Eastern. And then, as always, Freed FM will be back Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. All right, I'll catch you later.